8 presidents. You worked for both Bushes. Jeb Bush is off to kind of a stumbling start, it seems to me. Obviously, he has great fundraising potential here, but over the last week, he's had trouble answering the question about would he have gone into Iraq knowing what he now knows. First he said yes he would, then he said well it's a hypothetical question, then he said well actually no he wouldn't. You have any advice for him?
That's one question where I would have thought he would have had an answer figured out before he got into the middle of this. It was an inevitable question that would be asked, and I think that the way to deal with it, frankly, is to say you don't make policy by going back and reliving old decisions. One of the things that I admired about both President Bush and second President Bush and President Obama was they didn't have second thoughts. They made a decision and they moved on. And and I think, you know, the same thing as a candidate. You say what you believe and then you move on. But I think trying to go back and relive or to judge what if you knew then what you know now is a silly way to try and make policy. And I think it's best not to get trapped by that question, because if we all have things we'd done differently if we had them to do all over again, but we don't get those choices.
So I'm going to trap you here. Knowing what you know now, would you have advised a president to go into Iraq?
I think that I probably would have. I supported it at the time. I would like to think, based on my years in intelligence, that I might have questioned the intelligence more severely. In terms of the currency of the sources, in terms of the validity of the sources, and so on. So we might have avoided being misled by mistaken intelligence. I will say this, though. I gave a speech just 6 weeks after the invasion in 2003 where I said if we have 100,000 troops in Iraq in 6 months, this will have been a disaster.